Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Big hello to all the new subscribers, and wanted to give a thank you out to all those who sent me emails asking about how we doing up here in the tsunami and the earthquake. North of me, they got quite a bit of damage and stuff over that way, but here where I'm at, we're all good, so thank you for all those comments and everything. But yeah, no problems here where I'm at, so all's good. What I'm doing today, hopefully it'll be a pretty straightforward, easy day. I've got a 25 Yamaha 4-stroke warming up there in my tank. I'm warming it up so I can change the oil. Put a new oil filter. I'm going to go over everything. I'm going to get new plugs, new oil filter, change the lower unit oil. Just a basic, get it ready for next season kind of deal. Real nice motor, runs really sweet. And then I got a little, well, I think it's a 6-horse. Yeah, a little bitty 6-horse. Turns over, but it's stuck in gear. I actually sold this engine to the guy a few years ago. He loaned it out. Okay, and that's how he got it back, all froze up in gear. And it's stuck hard, so I'm going to have to pull it apart, find out what's going on there. But I'll show you the little motor, cute little motor. And then I'll get back on the video when I pull it apart and see what we got in there. So here's what we got going. Got the little Yamaha 25 4-stroker warming up. Real good running motor. I'm just letting it warm up so I can get the oil nice and thin so it drains out. And then here's the little 6. Cute little motor. He turns over good. Nice compression, but it is just stuck hard in gear. I mean, hard. So we'll find out what's going on there. I find it hard to believe it. It's just salt corrosion or whatever it's got its salt. So I'll probably have to pull the bearing carrier out of it and stuff. But it looks a lot like the day I sold it. I mean, it's really clean. If you look in there, the carb and everything. So it's got a little salt up here. Maybe that looks like it was leaking a little bit through the T-stack cover. Oh yeah, the pull cord's gone. They broke that off. So that's it for today. So I'm gonna get this little guy pulled apart, and we'll find out what's going on with there. So I'll be right back. Okay, I got the little 6-horse here, and I got the lower unit off of it. I got it draining right down there in a pan. All that oil didn't come from that lower unit. That's the motor oil from the 25 4-stroke and the lower unit oil from the 25 4-stroke. And so I drained the lower unit. I'm going to let that just hang there overnight and drain. Same with the cylinder block. I've got it drained, and I'm just going to let it drip in that pan overnight. And I pulled the lower off the little 6 horsepower, and all that was wrong with that shift handle on that little guy was the handle itself here was frozen, where it stabs into the up under the pan into the lower leg. That was all salty. There's a little oils. It ain't a zerk, it's for putting oil, but it was just all salt corroded in there. And but she's good and freed up loose, and I checked the shift rod, and it shifts in and out of gear just fine, but the oil was really dirty in that. So being that they're It was so salty and that there was a sticky issue. I went ahead and decided I'm going to check that lower unit. And it was good and sealed up. The oil was nice and black, which is actually a good sign. And so got things draining. Now I gotta find out what's going on with the recoil starter on this thing. The line is completely missing, so hopefully it ain't a broken spring or nothing. Hopefully they just snapped the line off or something. So let me get that off and see what's going on, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I checked that starter spring and all, and the little recoil starter on this little 6, and everything looked good there. So I cleaned everything up on that, and so what the manual says is get you a piece of cord that's 59.5 inches long. And you want to heat the last, tie your little overhand or figure 8 knot, and heat the last 1/2 inch of it to make it kind of stiff, it says. So just heat it, don't catch it on fire, just make it stiff. And then kind of flatten it out, because it's got to fit through this little guide pole. And you'll see when I put it on and wind it. Anyway, after you got your knot and your cord, put that over your neck like that. At least that's how I do it. Okay, and then so what we want to do, get you down here where you can see it. Hopefully. Camera wants to tilt. Alright. Then it says take you a screwdriver that fits in the pinion gear. That's the pinion gear. And if you notice, I put a little mark there. Well, you might not be able to notice. But anyway, I put a little mark right on the top, because as I start to wind it, this pinion gear is going to raise up. But I can count that. And it says to wind it counterclockwise about 12 times. So find you a screwdriver, and then here's a slot. Okay, and then just count them as your mark goes by. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and one more for good luck. Then it says keep turning it until the place to feed the rope comes in even with you. Now take it from around your neck, the non-knotted end of your rope, put through till the knot seats good. Alright, now I've got it with the line, with the cord. Now slowly, keeping tension on it, slowly let it wind it back from you. Making sure it stays in the groove, because we all want to be in the groove. Okay. And most of the tension is off there, but not all of it. Now feed it through your hole that it pulls through. Handle. Feed the end of the line through the handle. And you can kind of gauge it when you'll see it starting to bunch up there. So right about in there. And then I'm just going to hold it right there and tie me a knot. Preferably a figure 8 knot. If I can. Actually, I'm going to pull it out some. Ooh, come on. There. So I'm just holding it where my hand is. And I blew that. Let's try it again. If you can't tie knots, tie lots. Alright. That should be about it right there. So there's me a figure 8 knot. Bring my handle up. Voila. So, there we go. I got a little bit of overlap there, but that should be fine. So that's how you put the line back on there, and then just cut and trim the excess. Should be good. Be right back. Something I wanted to point out on this little Fisherman 6 horsepower. This is a 1968 model. And so this lower unit has 2 holes that go through the drive shaft. One is for the impeller, and the other one is right there. You see that little pin going through there? That's got to be in there. So make sure that's in there, because that fits in a slot in this power head. Before the power head, there's a washer, a spring, and a carbon seal for the bottom of the crank. So that little pin has to excuse me, fit down in that slot. Okay, I got the little lower unit. I've got I turned it up, stabbed it down in there, and you can see I got a space there. And that's so you can hook up the shift link. And so I hooked up the shift link right in there. And I've got it in neutral here and neutral there. So now what I got to do to get that little pin I was telling you about is I'll just slowly pull on the recoil starter cord, and it should set right down in there. I see that. There it goes. Alright, so I can't film everything, but what I did there was gave it a pull on the recoil rope that turned the crankshaft, and that little pin went down in its slot. Okay, here's the little 6. Really good. There's reverse. Forward. Neutral. Sweet running little kicker. There's the 25 Yamaha. I changed the gear oil, changed the engine oil, new oil filter, new spark plugs, gapped at 35. Gave her a good test run. Cleaned up the engine, lubed up things that need lubing. and just cleaned her all up, and so she's ready to go. So got that one done, and then we got the little fisherman done. So thanks for watching.